The stars shimmered against the endless black as the ESS Pathfinder cut through space like a silver arrow. Captain Olivia Daniels stood on the bridge, her blue eyes reflecting the glow of the control panels. The ship hummed with energy as it prepared for its first jump using the experimental faster-than-light drive. "All systems ready, Captain," said First Officer Jack Miller, his voice steady despite the tension filling the bridge. Olivia nodded. "Begin countdown. This is what we've trained for." The crew worked with quiet efficiency. Earth's first true interstellar vessel was about to make history. The ship had been built in secret over 10 years, combining the best technology humanity had to offer. "FTL drive charging," announced engineer Sam Rivera from his station. "Power levels optimal." 5 seconds to jump," said navigator Karen White. 4, 3, 2, 1. A brilliant flash of light enveloped the ship. The stars blurred into streaks as the Pathfinder tore through the fabric of space. The crew felt a moment of pressure, then nothing. The jump was smoother than any simulation had predicted. When the light faded, they found themselves in unknown space. No familiar stars or constellations greeted them. "Location unknown," Karen said, checking her instruments. "We're at least 300 light-years from Earth." Olivia felt a mixture of pride and concern. The jump had worked perfectly, too perfectly. They had traveled farther than intended. "Begin standard survey protocols," she ordered. "Let's find out where we are." The sensors began their sweep. Within minutes, they detected something unexpected. "Captain, I'm picking up artificial structures," reported Sensor Officer Alan Garcia. "Multiple large objects moving in formation. They appear to be ships." The bridge fell silent. First contact. No one had expected it to happen so soon. "Put it on screen," Olivia said. The main display showed several sleek vessels with strange geometric patterns on their hulls. They moved with precision that spoke of advanced technology. "Open all communication channels," Olivia ordered. Standard greeting package. Communications Officer Kelly Williams worked quickly. "Broadcasting on all frequencies, Captain. Visual, audio, and mathematical sequences." The alien ships changed course, now moving directly toward the Pathfinder. "They've detected us," Jack said. Minutes passed with no response to their messages. The alien vessels continued to approach. "They're scanning us," Ellen reported. "Our shields are holding, but their technology is unlike anything I've seen." Olivia made a decision. "Scan them back. We need information." The Pathfinder directed its sensors toward the alien fleet. Almost immediately, the lead alien ship flashed with light. "They've powered weapons," Ellen shouted. Before Olivia could respond, energy beams struck the Pathfinder. The ship shuddered violently. "Shields at 80%, reported Defensive Systems Officer Linda Baker. "No critical damage." "They think our scans were hostile," Jack said. "A misunderstanding." "Try to broadcast ceasefire signals," Olivia ordered. "Make it clear we mean no harm." Another volley hit the ship, stronger this time. "Shields at 60%, Linda said. "They're not listening, Captain." Olivia gripped her chair. She had hoped for peaceful contact, but now her crew was in danger. "Power up defense systems. Target their weapons only." The Pathfinder's newly developed pulse cannons came online. When the next attack came, Linda returned fire with precision. The lead alien vessel's weapon array exploded in a shower of debris. 2 more alien ships moved to flank the Pathfinder, firing continuously. "We can't hold this position," Olivia decided. "Prepare for another FTL jump." As Sam worked to ready the drive, the Pathfinder's weapons fired again, disabling the second alien vessel. The third ship exploded completely when it moved into the path of the Pathfinder's defensive barrage. "FTL ready in 10 seconds, Sam called out. Olivia watched the remaining alien ships regrouping. "Get us out of here, Karen." Random coordinates. The Pathfinder disappeared in another flash of light, leaving behind 3 damaged or destroyed alien vessels and a very angry Galactic Concordat patrol fleet. Across thousands of communication relays, an urgent message spread through the galaxy. A new dangerous species had appeared and attacked without provocation. The Concordat must respond. The war had begun. Admiral Peter Johnson stared at the message on his screen with growing concern. The Pathfinder had made contact with an alien civilization, and it had gone very badly. He ran a hand through his gray hair and turned to face the gathered military leaders in Earth Space Command's main conference room. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a situation," he said. Captain Daniels and the Pathfinder encountered an alien fleet. Due to a communication failure, shots were fired. The Pathfinder destroyed 3 alien vessels before escaping. The room erupted with questions. Admiral Johnson raised his hand for quiet. "The Pathfinder is damaged but operational. They are attempting to return home, but their FTL drive was affected in the battle. We don't know how long it will take them." General Diana Nelson, head of Earth Defense, spoke up. "What do we know about these aliens?" "Very little. They call themselves the Galactic Concordat. Based on what Captain Daniels observed, they possess technology more advanced than ours in some areas, but our weapon systems proved surprisingly effective." Across the room, Dr. Allison Murphy was already working on her tablet. As Earth's leading xenolinguist, she had helped create the communication packages for the Pathfinder mission. "I'm analyzing the data Captain Daniels sent," she said. "Their language structure is complex, but I may be able to improve our translation algorithms." Admiral Johnson nodded. "Work quickly, Doctor. We need to communicate with them before this escalates further." In another part of the facility, Lieutenant Alan Garcia reviewed the battle footage for the 100th time. Something caught his eye in the way the alien shields responded to the Pathfinder's weapons. "Sir," he called to his supervisor, "I think I've found something. The Concordat ships have a weakness in their shield harmonics. When hit with multiple frequencies simultaneously, their shields collapse temporarily." The news spread quickly through command. Perhaps humans had an advantage after all. Meanwhile, on the outer edges of the solar system, automated spy drones detected unusual activity. Dozens, then hundreds of ships were gathering just beyond Pluto's orbit. The Concordat had responded faster than anyone expected. In the presidential office, world leaders met in emergency session. The President of the United American States looked grim as she addressed the group. "We have confirmed that a large alien fleet is approaching our solar system. We must prepare for possible invasion." Across Earth and its colonies on Mars and Europa, people received the news with shock and fear. Humanity had dreamed of meeting aliens for centuries, but not like this. Admiral Johnson ordered the evacuation of the outer colonies. Earth's small fleet of military vessels, only 30 ships strong, began to mobilize. None were as advanced as the Pathfinder, but each carried weapons based on the same technology. On the Pathfinder, now limping through space on reduced power, Captain Olivia Daniels gathered her crew. "Our FTL drive is damaged. Engineer Rivera estimates 3 weeks for repairs," she told them. "We need to find somewhere safe to complete those repairs." Jack Miller pointed to a star system on their chart. "This system shows signs of activity, but doesn't match Concordat energy signatures. It could be another species." Olivia considered their options. "If we can find allies, or at least a neutral party, we might have a chance. Set course for that system. Best speed." Back on Earth, Dr. Murphy made a breakthrough with the translation system. She burst into Admiral Johnson's office, excitement clear on her face. "Admiral, I've decoded part of their communication system. The Concordat isn't just a single species. It's a coalition of multiple alien races. And there's something else. They've classified us as a Category 1 threat to galactic peace." Admiral Johnson frowned. "What does that mean?" "Based on their communications, it means they won't stop until they've either contained or eliminated us entirely. The Concordat has a history of absorbing or destroying what they consider dangerous species. As she spoke, the first Concordat scout ships entered the solar system. Earth's early warning systems lit up as they approached the research station orbiting Neptune. The station commander, Major Frank Cooper, sent an urgent message to Earth. Alien vessels approaching. They're not responding to hails, requesting instructions. Admiral Johnson's reply was immediate. Defend the station at all costs. Help is on the way. The first battle for Earth's solar system was about to begin. Major Frank Cooper watched as 5 Concordat ships approached Neptune Research Station. His 50 researchers and 20 security personnel were no match for a proper military force. Still, they would not surrender easily. All personnel to emergency stations, he ordered. Security teams, prepare defensive positions. The station's single defense cannon was designed to destroy incoming asteroids, not warships. It would have to do. The alien ships surrounded the station in a perfect formation. A transmission came through on all channels, a series of sounds and symbols that made no sense to human ears. "They want us to surrender," said Communications Officer Diane Lee, working with Dr. Murphy's translation program. "They're giving us 1 hour." Frank had his orders. Send no response. Begin evacuation protocol. The station's 3 escape pods could each hold 15 people. Not enough for everyone, but better than nothing. "Sir," said Diane, "I'm receiving a message from Earth. Admiral Johnson says help is coming. The UAS Defender will arrive in 2 hours. Frank shook his head. Too late. When the hour passed, the Concordat ships opened fire. The station's shields, designed for radiation protection, failed almost instantly. The defense cannon fired back, damaging 1 alien vessel before a direct hit destroyed it. Frank ordered the first escape pod launched, filled with scientific personnel. The pod accelerated away from the station, heading toward Earth. The aliens targeted it immediately. "No!" Frank shouted as the pod exploded. The aliens would show no mercy to escapees. He changed his plan. "All remaining personnel to the inner core. We'll make our stand here." As the station broke apart around them, Frank's team retreated deeper into the structure. Their only hope was to hold out until help arrived. Light years away, the Pathfinder entered the system Jack Miller had identified. Instead of Concordat vessels, they found ships of different design. "Captain," said Kelly Williams, "I'm detecting transmissions, different from the Concordat." Olivia made a decision. Open a channel. Use mathematics as a base language. The response came quickly, a series of numbers that matched their mathematical sequence. "They understand," said Kelly, excitement in her voice. The alien ships approached cautiously. They were smaller than Concordat vessels, with elegant curves instead of harsh angles. "We're being scanned," reported Alan Garcia. "Non-aggressive pattern." A face appeared on their screen, humanoid but clearly alien, with purple skin and large eyes. "I am Speaker Zan of the Viridian Collective," said the alien in halting English. The translation program was working. "You are not Concordat." "No," Olivia replied. "We are from Earth. The Concordat attacked us without provocation." The alien's eyes widened. "The new species. The Concordat claims you attacked them." "A misunderstanding," Olivia explained. "We attempted peaceful contact." Speaker Zan seemed to consider this. The Concordat rarely misunderstands. They conquer. They absorb. Those who resist are eliminated. "We need repairs," Olivia said. "Our drive is damaged." "Follow us to our station," Zan replied. "We will discuss more." As the Pathfinder followed the Viridian ships, Engineer Sam Rivera assessed their situation. "Captain, we could adapt some of their technology to speed repairs. Their energy signatures suggest compatible systems." In the Neptune system, Frank Cooper's team had held out for 90 minutes. Half his people were dead or wounded. The station was failing structurally. "Last stand," he told his remaining security team. "Make it count." The aliens breached the inner core. Frank's team fought bravely. their weapons proving surprisingly effective at close range. The aliens fell back, regrouped, then came again with greater numbers. Frank was the last to fall, taking 3 aliens with him. 2 hours after the first attack, the UAS Defender arrived to find the station destroyed and debris floating in space. The Concordat ships were gone, leaving only destruction behind. Captain Olivia Daniels stood before the Viridian Council, explaining Earth's situation. "The Concordat has declared war on humanity," she concluded. "We need allies." The Viridian leader, Grand Speaker Vala, nodded slowly. "The Concordat has dominated our galaxy for too long. Perhaps it is time for change." For the first time since the disastrous first contact, Olivia felt hope. Perhaps humanity would not face this war alone. Admiral Peter Johnson stood on the bridge of the UAS Valiant, Earth's largest warship. Around him, 30 human vessels formed a defensive line near Neptune. This would be humanity's first stand against the full might of the Concordat. "Report," he ordered. "Sensors detect 120 alien ships approaching," replied Sensor Officer Jenna Howard. "Estimated arrival in 30 minutes." Earth had evacuated the outer colonies and recalled all available ships. Not nearly enough. Their only advantage was the element of surprise. The Concordat didn't know that humans had studied the battle data from the Pathfinder incident. "All ships, implement Shield Protocol Alpha," Johnson ordered. The human fleet adjusted their shield frequencies according to Lieutenant Garcia's discovery. In the science bay of the Valiant, Dr. Murphy worked frantically to improve communications with their new allies. The Pathfinder had sent data on the Viridian language, and 2 Viridian ships were en route to join the battle. "Admiral," she called, "I've finished the translation matrix. We can now communicate clearly with the Viridians." "Good work. How long until they arrive?" "Their estimated arrival is 40 minutes after the battle begins." Johnson frowned. Too late to prevent the fight, but perhaps in time to turn the tide. The Concordat fleet emerged from light speed, a wall of sleek warships spreading across the star field. They moved with perfect coordination, like a single organism rather than individual vessels. "They're hailing us," said Communications Officer Ben Walsh. "Put them through," Johnson ordered. The main screen showed an alien with gray skin and 4 eyes. Its voice came through the translator. "This is High Commander Vexlar of the Galactic Concordat. You have been classified as a dangerous species. Surrender now and accept assimilation, or be eliminated." Johnson stood tall. "This is Admiral Peter Johnson of Earth. We did not start this conflict. We wish for peace, but we will defend ourselves." "Your choice is made," said the alien before cutting transmission. The Concordat ships opened fire simultaneously. Energy beams struck the human ships, but thanks to the modified shields, the damage was minimal. "Return fire," Johnson ordered. The human fleet unleashed their weapons. To the Concordat's surprise, the human weapons penetrated their shields more effectively than expected. 3 alien ships exploded immediately. Across the human fleet, Commander Nicole Grant implemented the strategy she had developed. Instead of meeting the aliens in standard formation, the human ships broke into small, unpredictable groups. They darted between the larger alien vessels, firing from multiple angles. "They're confused by our tactics," Nicole reported to Johnson. "Their formations are designed to fight conventional battles." The humans scored several more hits, but the sheer number of alien ships began to tell. 2 human vessels exploded under concentrated fire. As the battle raged, Earth's orbital defense platforms powered up. They had been hidden until now, built in secret over the past decade, in case of alien threat. "Platforms online," reported Defense Coordinator Will Reed from Earth Control. "Targeting systems locked." Massive energy beams shot from Earth's orbit, striking the rear of the Concordat fleet. 7 more alien ships were destroyed. The Concordat responded by splitting their fleet. 80 ships continued toward Earth while 40 turned to engage the orbital platforms. Johnson saw the danger. "They're dividing their forces. We can't protect both targets." Just then, Sensor Officer Howard shouted, "New contacts. 20 ships emerging from light speed." "The Viridians?" Johnson asked hopefully. "No, sir. It's the Pathfinder. And 19 ships of unknown configuration." The view screen showed the Pathfinder leading a diverse group of vessels. They attacked the Concordat fleet from behind with weapons Johnson had never seen before. "Admiral," came Olivia Daniels' voice over the comm. "Sorry we're late. We brought some friends." "Captain Daniels, glad to see you." "We didn't just find the Viridians," Olivia explained. "We found other species who have suffered under Concordat rule. They want to fight back." The battle shifted as the new allies cut through the Concordat's rear guard. The alien fleet, now caught between three forces, began to lose cohesion. "Push forward," Johnson ordered. "Don't give them time to regroup." For the first time, the humans and their allies saw confusion in the Concordat's movements. They had never faced a serious challenge to their military might. In Earth's headquarters, the president watched the battle with growing hope. Perhaps humanity had a chance after all. Dr. Allison Murphy worked tirelessly in her lab aboard the Valiant, while the battle raged outside. Her translation matrix had made a breakthrough, allowing real-time communication with both allies and enemies. "It's ready," she told Admiral Johnson over the comm. "We can now speak directly with the Concordat leadership." Johnson nodded on the screen. "Open a channel to their command ship." The face of High Commander Vexlar appeared again, surprise evident in its four eyes. "You wish to surrender?" the alien asked. "No," Johnson replied firmly. "We wish to understand why you attacked us without provocation. Your species is dangerous. The Pathfinder destroyed 3 patrol ships without warning." "That's not true," Johnson countered. "Our records show your ships fired first." Vexlar's expression didn't change. "The Concordat preserves galactic peace. Dangerous species must be contained or eliminated." Dr. Murphy whispered to Johnson, "He truly believes they're right. Their culture sees this as peacekeeping, not conquest." The communication was interrupted as a new wave of Concordat ships entered the battle. Despite the Allies' efforts, Earth remained outnumbered. On the Pathfinder, Captain Olivia Daniels met with representatives from 5 different alien species. The Viridians had introduced her to the Krell, the Narration, the Joxer, and the Mantari, all species who had lost territory to the Concordat. Speaker Zan of the Viridians addressed the group. "For centuries, the Concordat has expanded under the claim of maintaining peace. Many species have been absorbed. Those who resist are crushed. Why hasn't anyone united against them before?" Olivia asked. "Fear," replied the Krell ambassador, a tall, insect-like being. "The Concordat's power seemed absolute, but your species has shown they can be hurt." As they spoke, Security Officer Lisa Bennett entered the meeting room. "Captain, we've detected unusual transmissions from Earth. There may be Concordat spies on the planet." Olivia frowned. "How is that possible? They only just discovered us." "The Concordat has advanced scouts who study potential targets," explained the Narration delegate, her translucent skin glowing softly. "They may have been watching Earth for years." "Send a warning to Earth's security," Olivia ordered. "All communications must be checked for hidden signals." Back on Earth, the leaders of all nations had united under a single banner: Humanity United. The President addressed the Global Council. "Today we fight not just for Earth, but for our right to exist as a free species," she said. "The Concordat seeks our submission or extinction. We choose neither." Security teams, alerted by the Pathfinder's warning, uncovered 3 disguised aliens in key government buildings. The spies had been relaying Earth's defense plans to the Concordat fleet. In space, Dr. Murphy made another discovery while analyzing Concordat communications. She rushed to Admiral Johnson's side on the bridge. "Admiral, the Concordat isn't a true alliance. It's a hierarchy. 5 species rule over dozens of conquered worlds." "How does that help us?" Johnson asked. "Many of their ship crews are from subjugated species. They fight out of fear, not loyalty." Johnson immediately contacted Olivia. "Captain Daniels, can you broadcast on all Concordat frequencies?" "Yes, sir. What message?" "Dr. Murphy has found evidence that many Concordat crew members are from conquered worlds. If we can reach them, show them we're fighting alongside other former victims of the Concordat. They might turn against their masters," Olivia finished. "We'll need proof." The Viridian ambassador stepped forward. "We have records of Concordat atrocities against our people and others. On the main Concordat command ship, High Commander Vexlar received alarming reports. The human fleet was proving more resilient than expected, and the appearance of former enemy species fighting together was unprecedented. Deploy the subjugation teams, Vexlar ordered. Target their leaders. Without leadership, resistance will crumble." Across the solar system, small Concordat stealth ships launched toward Earth and the main human vessels. Their mission: assassinate key figures in the human resistance. What they didn't expect was Earth's security chief, Roy Blake, who had anticipated this tactic. Earth's defense grid detected the stealth ships despite their advanced cloaking. "All units, we have incoming assassins," Roy warned. "Protect the leadership at all costs." As the battle for Earth continued, a greater struggle was beginning, one that would reshape power across the galaxy. Humanity had sparked the first real challenge to Concordat dominance in centuries, and other species were watching closely. For the first time in its long history, the Galactic Concordat faced the possibility of defeat. A massive fleet of Concordat reinforcements arrived at the edge of the solar system. 500 ships, far more than the combined human and allied forces. Earth seemed doomed despite their brave defense. Admiral Johnson watched the new enemy ships on his display with a heavy heart. "We can't win against these numbers." "Sir," said Communications Officer Ben Walsh, "Captain Daniels is requesting an urgent meeting. She says her science officer has discovered something important." Minutes later, Olivia Daniels and science officer Paul Baker joined Johnson via secure channel. Paul was a quiet man who rarely showed excitement, but now his eyes shone with discovery. "Admiral, we've found a critical flaw in Concordat shield technology," he explained. "When their shields are hit with a specific frequency modulation, they experience a cascade failure." Johnson leaned forward. "How did you discover this?" "The Pathfinder's battle data combined with information from our new allies," Paul replied. "The Viridians suspected this weakness, but lacked the technology to exploit it. Our weapons can be modified to use this frequency." Hope returned to Johnson's face. "How quickly can we implement this?" 6 hours for the entire fleet," Olivia said. "The Viridians are helping with the modifications. The reinforcements will reach us in 8 hours. Do it." Across the solar system, human and allied ships began the modifications. Engineers worked frantically, racing against time. On Earth, factories had been converted to produce weapons and shields. Millions of people worked day and night to support the war effort. The planet was unified in a way never seen before in human history. Lieutenant Alan Garcia led a small team on a stealth mission to the edge of the solar system. They piloted the UAS Shadow, a prototype stealth ship, toward the Concordat flagship. "Our mission is to place these disruptor devices on key Concordat vessels," Alan told his team. "They'll amplify the effect of our modified weapons." The Shadow slipped past the outer Concordat patrols. Their technology, combined with Viridian cloaking methods, rendered them nearly invisible. "Approaching target," whispered pilot Joe Ramirez. 30 seconds to contact." The team held their breath as they glided alongside the massive Concordat flagship. Ellen and 2 others exited the Shadow in spacesuits, carrying the disruptor devices. "Remember, place them near their main power conduits," Alan said over the comm. They worked quickly, attaching the devices to the hull of the flagship and 2 other command vessels. The aliens didn't detect their presence. Back on the Shadow, the team retreated to a safe distance. "Mission accomplished," Alan reported. "Devices in place." When the 6 hours were up, The human-alien alliance was ready. Their weapons had been modified, and the commanders had developed a coordinated attack plan. Grand Speaker Vala of the Viridians addressed the Allied fleet. "Today we stand together against tyranny." The Concordat believed they were invincible. Today they learn otherwise. The Concordat reinforcements entered weapons range, confident in their superior numbers. High Commander Vexlar prepared to deliver the final blow to the troublesome humans and their unexpected allies. "Begin the attack," Vexlar ordered. "No mercy." The Concordat ships opened fire. The human-alien alliance took heavy damage in the initial barrage, losing 12 ships. "Hold position," Admiral Johnson commanded. "Wait for my signal." The Concordat fleet pressed forward, sensing victory. When they reached the optimal position, Johnson gave the order. "All ships, execute Protocol Omega." Now, every Allied ship fired their modified weapons simultaneously. The shots hit the Concordat shields, which flickered and then failed completely. The disruptor devices on the command ships amplified the effect, creating a chain reaction through the enemy formation. For a moment, the entire Concordat fleet hung in space, vulnerable. Then the second wave of Allied fire tore through the unprotected ships. 30 Concordat vessels exploded in the first minute. "It's working," shouted Jenna Howard from her sensor station. The Concordat ships tried to retreat and regroup, but the Allied fleet pressed their advantage. The carefully coordinated attack targeted the enemy's command structure, creating confusion in their ranks. On the Concordat flagship, Vexlar watched in disbelief as his invincible fleet fell into disarray. "Impossible," he raged. "These primitives cannot defeat us." But the evidence was before his eyes. The Concordat was losing the battle. For the first time in centuries, the mighty Galactic Concordat faced defeat. In the heart of the battle, human ingenuity and determination had created a turning point that would reshape the galaxy forever. Despite their victory in the Battle of Neptune, Earth's troubles were far from over. The Concordat controlled thousands of worlds across the galaxy. The forces Earth had defeated were just a small part of their military might. Captain Olivia Daniels sat with Admiral Johnson and representatives from their alien allies in the war room of the Valiant. The mood was serious despite their recent success. "The Concordat is regrouping," said Speaker Zan of the Viridians. "Our spies report they are sending a planet-killer fleet." "Planet killer?" Johnson asked, his face pale. "Ships with weapons that can destroy an entire world," Zan explained. "They have used them before on species that resisted too strongly." Dr. Murphy, who had been analyzing Concordat communications, spoke up. "They plan to make an example of Earth, to show what happens to those who challenge their authority." Olivia stood up. "Then we need to take the fight to them. Strike at their heart before they can bring these weapons to bear." "How?" Johnson asked. "We don't have the ships to attack their homeworld." "Not a direct assault," Olivia clarified. "A small team. The Pathfinder is still the fastest ship we have. If we can reach their capital world, we might find a way to stop this war." The plan was risky. The Pathfinder would use information from their allies to navigate to the Concordat central system. Meanwhile, Admiral Johnson would lead the Earth fleet in a series of delaying actions to buy time. Dr. Murphy would accompany the Pathfinder team. "I need to understand their culture better," she insisted. "There may be a diplomatic solution." Engineer Sam Rivera worked with Viridian technicians to install a revolutionary new propulsion system on the Pathfinder. "This will double our speed," he told Olivia. "We'll reach the Concordat homeworld in 10 days. As preparations continued, a message arrived from an unexpected source. A Concordat scientist named Kren Fold had secretly contacted Earth. "Not all within the Concordat support this war," the message read. "Some of us believe your species deserves to exist. We can help." At first, many suspected a trap. But Lisa Bennett's security team verified the message came from within the Concordat's ruling council. "It could be genuine," Lisa said. "There may be a resistance movement." The Pathfinder launched on its mission 3 days later. The crew was solemn, knowing Earth's fate rested on their success. "Set course for the Concordat Central System," Olivia ordered. "Maximum speed." As they traveled, human colonies in the outer solar system fell to Concordat forces. Mars was evacuated just before enemy ships arrived. The alien advance was relentless. Admiral Johnson coordinated a fighting retreat. "Make them pay for every inch," he told his commanders. "We need to hold out until the Pathfinder completes its mission." The Earth fleet used hit-and-run tactics, striking Concordat supply lines, and then retreating before reinforcements arrived. The humans adapted quickly, learning from each encounter. On the Pathfinder, Dr. Murphy made a breakthrough. Working with data from Krenful, she developed a device that could disable Concordat technology without destroying it. It creates a specific energy field that interferes with their power systems, she explained to Olivia. "It won't harm them, but it will shut down their weapons." "Can we use it on their planet killer fleet?" Olivia asked. "Yes, but we need to get close enough." On the 7th day of their journey, the Pathfinder detected unusual activity. Multiple species across the galaxy were rising up against Concordat rule. The news of Earth's successful resistance had spread, inspiring others to fight back. "We've started something bigger than ourselves," Jack Miller observed. "Freedom is contagious," Olivia replied. Reports reached them of Krell ships attacking Concordat bases and Narration worlds declaring independence. A galaxy-wide rebellion was taking shape. The Concordat leadership responded with brutal force. Worlds that rebelled were put under martial law. But their military was stretched thin trying to maintain control across so many systems. On Earth, populations were moved underground as orbital defenses were strengthened. Every day they held out was another day for the Pathfinder to complete its mission. "The planet killer fleet has launched," Admiral Johnson informed the president. "Estimated arrival, 3 days." The countdown to Earth's possible destruction had begun. Everything now depended on Captain Daniels and her crew reaching the heart of Concordat power in time. The Pathfinder arrived at the edge of the Concordat Central System on the 10th day of their journey. 5 heavily defended planets orbited a blue-white star. The innermost world, Concordia Prime, was the seat of power for the Galactic Empire. "Active scans would reveal our position," Alan Garcia warned from his sensor station. "Passive scans only," Olivia ordered. "We need to stay hidden as long as possible." The ship slipped deeper into the system, using a stolen Concordat identification code provided by Krenful. Defense platforms scanned them but allowed a passage. "It worked," Jack Miller said with relief. "They think we're one of their supply ships." As they approached Concordia Prime, Dr. Murphy prepared her device. "It has enough power for one system-wide burst," she explained. "We need to time it perfectly." The plan was dangerous but simple. They would broadcast proof of Concordat atrocities across all communication channels, while simultaneously activating Murphy's device to disable Concordat weapons. With their defenses down and their crimes exposed, they hoped to force a surrender. Meanwhile, the planet killer fleet had reached Earth's solar system. Admiral Johnson commanded the last line of defense, every ship humanity and their allies could muster. "All vessels, take formation Delta," he ordered. "We hold this line no matter the cost." The planet killers were massive, each larger than any ship humans had ever built. They moved slowly but with unstoppable force toward Earth. On Concordia Prime, High Commander Vexlar received reports of resistance throughout the Empire. Over 30 worlds had declared independence in the past week. The Concordat military was stretched thin. "These humans have infected the galaxy with their defiance," he growled to his council. "Once Earth is destroyed, the others will fall back in line." Unknown to him, Lieutenant Alan Garcia led a special forces team toward the Concordat command station. Using Viridian stealth technology, they boarded the station undetected. Their mission: secure the central communications hub so Captain Daniels could broadcast her message. Alan's team moved silently through the station. When they encountered guards, They used non-lethal force. Remember, we need to prove we're better than them, Alan reminded his team. Back on the Pathfinder, Olivia received the signal that Alan's team was in position. She turned to Dr. Murphy. Start the broadcast. Across the Concordat Empire, on every ship, planet, and station, screens and communication devices activated. The faces of Captain Olivia Daniels and representatives from a dozen species appeared. People of the Concordat, Olivia began. For centuries, you have been told that your government preserves peace. Today, we show you the truth. The broadcast showed evidence of Concordat atrocities, entire species subjugated or wiped out, worlds stripped of resources, cultures destroyed. The evidence had been gathered from multiple sources, including Krenfol and other dissidents within the Concordat itself. As the broadcast continued, Dr. Murphy activated her device. A wave of energy spread from the Pathfinder, disabling weapons systems throughout the central system. At Earth, the planet killer fleet suddenly lost power. Their weapons went offline, just as they prepared to fire on the planet. On Concordia Prime, panic spread through the ruling council. The broadcast could not be stopped, and reports came in of military ships losing power across the Empire. Vexlar faced a rebellion from within his own ranks. Junior officers and crew members from conquered worlds turned against their commanders. The Concordat leadership was fracturing. In this moment of chaos, moderate factions within the Concordat saw their chance. Led by Krenfol, they moved to seize control from the Hardliners. This war was a mistake. Krenfol announced to the council, "We must negotiate with the humans and their allies." Captain Daniels delivered a final message to the remaining hostile forces. The galaxy does not belong to the Concordat. All species deserve freedom. Surrender now, or face the combined might of a united galaxy. The war reached its turning point. Across the stars, billions of beings watched as humanity's courage inspired a revolution. Species that had lived under Concordat rule for generations found the strength to stand up. Admiral Johnson received the news with relief. The planet killer fleet was surrendering, prevented from completing their mission by Murphy's device and the rebellion spreading through their crews. Earth had survived. More than that, humanity had changed the galaxy forever. From a single ship that appeared unexpectedly, a new era of freedom had begun. The stage was set for Part 2 of the saga, rebuilding a galaxy free from Concordat tyranny.